What's up, everyone? Today I want to go over what is Rasa. Rasa is a really interesting AI chatbot development platform that is open source. So it is powered by machine learning to allow you to build a very contextual chatbot. So you can train it to do all sorts of things. As you can tell from this first picture right here, just on their website, you can train it to do something such as allowing users to order a pizza. And then it can have follow-up questions such as what toppings they'd like, what specialty pizza they'd like, what address they'd like to send it to, all sorts of things. And you can train it to identify what's going to be the next best action by giving it a lot of data. And a lot of this stuff is powered through what they call Rasa's NLU, which is an interesting system. You can train it with different sentences and what the intent is of different sentences. So as you can tell, this one is looking for Mexican food. So intent is search restaurant, and the cuisine is Mexican. And you can even have it have a location. So maybe this chatbot knows that they're in a central city such as Los Angeles. So it knows to look for something more in the center of Los Angeles, or maybe downtown or whatnot. So that's a really neat part. And then Rasa does set up everything for you to install in a very easy fashion. So if you follow the user guide or the documentation, it makes it really easy and walks you through all the steps. You have the tutorials, you have the command lines that you'd have to do. One thing is really interesting is the architecture that they've laid out of how everything gets handled, because it's a multi-step process of handling any message that comes in. And the even more powerful thing is that you can expand beyond even just regular text messages. You can go into voice messages as well. And then you have ways to test your chatbot, whether it's through the command line, or they have a system called Rasa X, which is really neat, and I'll skip over there and then come back later. But you can train it in a GUI interface. So they have a picture of it over here? Doesn't seem like they have the picture here. But with Rasa X, you can train it to essentially to tell it what certain sentences would mean. If you type a message out, and if it's identifying as the right intent. So that makes it really easy to train the chatbot. As you can also see, there's a lot of other features to it. So there's stories, domains, responses. Stories are a collection of intents and actions that you'd be doing. So it essentially allows you to script out what a conversational pathway would look like. So that's really convenient. And then you can have other spots such as slots, which will retain information like their city location, their topping preferences, and then you have forms which they can submit information as well. So you have different types of forms you can create, just like regular entry, or you can even have cards, sort of like on Facebook Messenger, where you could select different routes. And then they offer things like different training pipelines, so you can use multi-intent systems by using something like Google TensorFlow's integration. So that way, in a sentence, they could figure out multiple intents. So it could be like, I want to order a pizza and I'd like to get breadsticks. So there are quite a few features that I'll cover in other videos to go over in more depth. What are stories? What are domains? What are responses? What are policies? And how you should go about designing your conversation. This is more just a video to quickly get you up to speed of what is Rasa, how can it help you, why should you start looking at it, things like that. Things that are going to help you. So hopefully you see this and you get interested in giving it a try. It does offer a great replacement to things like Dialogflow, Wit, Lewis, or IBM's Watson.